We are putting 86 books into free little libraries around town just to show some love and just like kindness to people around me. So make sure you're subscribed because there's new videos every single day for this entire week, and I hope you guys enjoy. I am unhauling 86 books, like literally 86 books are gonna go to free little libraries, and I'm really excited to drop them in because I have so many books on my physical TBR that I haven't read yet. And I actually shared in a recent video where I just like wasn't sure which books I wanted to keep, and then you guys all commented below and let me know like the books that you thought were good, like that you'd already read. So I am keeping 22 books out of like the whole stack, but 86 are gonna go to a new home, and I'm really excited about it because I feel like someone will really enjoy these books. So I'm gonna show you guys some of the books really quick, and then I'm gonna show you guys the books that I'm keeping. So these are all the books. These are literally brand new books. I got all of these from like Barnes and different bookstores, and I just like went to independent bookstores like all over. Literally got these books from everywhere, and I'm excited for these to go to a new home because I feel like someone's gonna really love on them, and I just like don't want them to be sitting in my house and just like not being read, you know, especially when there are so many books that I have on my TBR that I could be reading. So these are the ones that are gonna go to the free little library. You guys did actually help me decide to keep some of the books, so I'm gonna show you guys the 22 books that I'm planning on keeping. There's like 3 different stacks. The Ties That Tether is a book that I'm keeping. It's by J.N. Agaro. You guys said that this book is so good, and I trust you guys. You said that this is also a true romance, which I did not realize, so I'm excited to keep that. I'm keeping In It to Win It because I think one of you guys literally commented and was like, no, the book is good. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll keep it. So many of you guys said the Mind F series is really good, and you said that even though like I'm a dark, like not someone who reads dark romance, you said you think I would like it because there's another like plot that's just like really interesting outside of the romance. So this is a thick one, and I really was like gonna give that one away, but you guys convinced me. I also am keeping The Girl with the Stars in Her Eyes. This is the book that I don't know, I don't even know if anyone commented and said that they read this book and enjoyed it, but I just started like flipping through it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should keep it. So I'm gonna keep it. And a lot of you guys were like, maybe you should just keep the books at your house, and then like after the end of the year, you should decide if you wanna like let them go or not. And like, I do not wanna do that because I don't even know if I shared how many books are on my physical TBR in like my last video, but I'm pretty sure I have like over 300 like books on my physical TBR that I have not read yet. Granted, I read 170 books last year, and I'm planning on reading 175 this year. But you guys know I'm shopping for books all the time. Like I love reading books by diverse authors. I love reading books by like new authors who maybe only have like 25 reviews or 30 reviews. And I love really finding and scouring for books that people aren't like really talking about. And I also love reading popular books. So like that just adds in so many more books than I feel like is even possible to read. So getting rid of 86 like needs to happen. And these are books I think I bought a lot of these when I first got back into reading in like 2019, 2020 era. I was just kind of like listening to what people said was good, and I would just like pick it up. But now I think I really know like what I enjoy. I really enjoy romance, and I really enjoy thrillers. There's a lot of contemporary fiction in this. There's also a lot of literary fiction in this stack. There are also a lot of like dark romances or really spicy romances because I'm not a big spice girl. I enjoy spice, but it has to be like passionate and really like, I don't know, deep and like well thought out. And I feel like I picked up a lot of books that, like example, the Addicted series. Like I don't think that I would really like this because like there's spice in this, and it is just like a little bit more than I would probably typically like. I also have another book by Tessa Bailey in here, and I read one of her books, which was a little too spicy for me. It was enjoyable, but I think it was like a 3-star read or something. And I really just want to read 4-star books this year, 4.5-star books this year, 5-star books this year. And I think sometimes the spice in books will make me like the book less. So I don't want to like rate a book low just because it's something I don't enjoy. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm also reading The Heart Principle by Helen Huang, and you guys said that you really enjoyed this. I was planning on getting rid of this one because you said, or because I thought that there was like a lot of spice, which I think that there is some, but you guys did say that the storyline is like really unique, so I'm gonna keep that one. Keeping Single Dad's Club, mostly just because I haven't seen anyone read it, and you guys know I do love supporting authors that don't have like a ton of reviews or a ton of like hype up on their books, so I wanna read it just to see how I feel. I'm also keeping No One Saw a Thing. This book just looks really easy to read, and it's a thriller. And then I have another stack. I'm gonna keep this side of home, and I'll link all these books below that I'm keeping. Keeping this because it is a YA book about gentrification, and one of the sisters like wants the area to be like new and updated and stuff, and the other sister like wants it to kind of stay the same. And I want to read it because I feel like it would be just a good way to like learn, and I always am wanting to learn and like grow and stuff, but I think that digesting things with YA books is a lot easier. Also, I'm keeping The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier because you guys said that this is a OG book that I cannot pass up, and so I am going to read it. I'm also keeping Queenie because even though so many of you guys said you hated this book, there are also so many of you that said that you loved it, and you said that the chaos in this book is actually enjoyable for some, not for everyone. So I kind of want to see like how I feel about it. I'm also keeping When in Rome because I do have Practice Makes Perfect on my TBR, my physical TBR here in the house, and I'm not getting rid of that book, so I'm like, I have to keep like the first book. And then I'm also keeping In Every Mirror She's Black. One of you guys actually said you didn't enjoy this book, but again, I feel like I really want to keep this just to see like if I like it, because I feel like I see this book everywhere, and if I don't read it, I'm just going to constantly think about it every time I see it in the bookstore. I'm also keeping You Deserve Each Other because you guys said that this is such a cute story, and it's like a book that you think is super underhyped. I'm also keeping Honey Girl because this is a queer read, and I feel like there are not enough queer reads by Black authors about Black characters that I find very often. I think I have like maybe 5 on my physical TBR, and this is not one of them. I think this is probably like the 6th or something. But I want to make sure that I have like lots of books to recommend, and even if some of you guys said you didn't really care for this book, I want to see how I feel, you know? And then the last stack, again, I only have 22 that I'm keeping, which I think is probably a good amount because I usually read between like 16 to 20 books a month. So I'm keeping these, and I feel like I could read most of these in like close to a month. I'm keeping Ride or Die. Some of you guys said that you didn't like this book, but I think the second book comes out this year, so I kind of want to keep it just for that. I'm also keeping Luster, even though some of you guys didn't like this book, because this has a different type of relationship in it. It's an open relationship, and she's navigating that. And I don't think I have another book like that on my TBR, and I really like being able to recommend books to you guys. Like if you ask for something super niche, I like to at least have like 1 or 2 books to like recommend. Like one person I think DM'd me was like, hey, do you have books about teachers? And I'm like, that's a great question, like let me think. And I just like to have books that I've like read that are different, unique, new, so I'm excited to read that. I also am keeping All the Dangerous Things because I didn't realize that Stacey Willingham wrote Flicker in the Dark, even though it literally says that on the front of the book. And I was planning on giving this away because I thought this was written by Sally Hepworth, and I read The Soulmate by that author and did not enjoy it, not realizing it's literally a totally different author. I'm also keeping You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. So many of you guys hated this, but so many of you also love this book. You said that she was very unhinged. She's kind of an unlikable character, but you guys know I read Untouchable by Sean, and I think she's kind of an unlikable character, and some people don't like that book, but I really enjoyed it because I feel like it makes the characters even more human when they are unlikable. Sometimes I just don't like them, like even if that's like a very human thing of them to be, like is unlikable, like sometimes I don't like them, but I want to try and read that book and see how I feel because some of you did enjoy it. I'm also keeping Lessons in Chemistry because this is a show or movie or something, and I'm very big on like reading the book first. Also, I paid $29 for this book, so I'm like, I got that from an independent bookstore, so I'm like, I need to read that. Also, I'm keeping My Soul to Keep by Candy Ryan because I was planning on waiting for the new covers, but then one of you guys messaged me and said that these are the new covers. I did not realize that. So yeah, I cannot give this away because I have not read that yet. And then I'm also planning on keeping His and Hers by Alice Feeney. I opened up the book briefly while I was just like putting these in a stack, and I was like, that actually looks kind of good. So it's a thriller. I'm gonna read that one. And then the last book I'm keeping is The Perfect Find by Tia Williams because you guys said that even though the show isn't amazing, you said the book is really, really good. So I'm keeping that, and you did say it is a true romance, which I think I thought it was a work of fiction. Okay, for the first stop, I have like 10 books, I think. So I'll show you guys what they are as I put them into the free little library. This is one of my favorite free little libraries. It's on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, so it's like actually a really busy drive. I have the Build Up, Kiss and Kosher, My Not So Perfect Life, Hook, Line, and Sinker, Year of Yes. I'll put those up there. Then I have Baking Christmas, Band Bookshop, Dream On, More Than Words. Put that up there. It's actually super hard to do with the sun literally blowing me out, but I also have All My Rage, the Hookup Plan, Will They, Won't They, Breathe the Sky, and the Plus Ones. And I think I'm gonna go get some more for my car because there is a little bit extra room in here. I definitely want to do this more often because every time I come out, these libraries are literally so empty with adult books. Oh shoot, oh no, guys, the books are falling out. My car, oh my gosh, they're falling in the mud. Oh shoot. Oh, there's a little bit of mud on it. Oh no. Oh. Let's see, I'm gonna try to pick these up without getting them more muddy. Oh, that's not as bad as it could have been. Now this one, come on, let's pick this up. Oh my gosh, so much mud. Definitely could have been worse because this is super muddy. This rained yesterday, but I'm gonna try to get some more of these. But what I was saying was that every time I come out, there are like no kids books. Or not kids books, there's no adult books. So I would definitely like come out more, put more in, I feel like if people are reading them, then like, you know, we should fill it up. This last little like drop off, I put the lake, Life Gives You Lemons, What Happened to the Bennetts, I think 99% Mine, Wreck the Halls, Blood Wedding, and In Case of Heartbreak. So let's go to the second one. Okay, I'm trying to fill this up again, and guys, it is literally empty. So I have like a ton of books in my car. There's only 3 left. I'm gonna put all of these in here, and then a couple more as well.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever.
Alright, it's now full. I got the rest of the books in here. You can't even really see all of them because there's literally 2 rows, but every time I come here, all the books are gone, and I like never come to this side of town, so I just stuffed it full. You can literally see. If you want to see like all the books that are in here, just go check my unhaul video that I did. Literally stuffed to the brim. So I'm hoping that everyone really enjoys these books and they get people into reading. I didn't want to like, you know, have these books be in like bad condition or anything, so I made sure that they're at least stuffed in a way that's like, you know, they're still in good shape. But yeah, I got some Colleen Hoovers in there, Lucy Score. I kind of wanted to put like the more popular ones up front so people could see them first. But yeah, it's nice and full. Now that I have dropped off everything, I am just really thinking about that food pantry and like how the lady was telling me that it was like empty all the time. It is so sad that like all of us have such a different life experience, but like she was saying that this guy, he has come multiple times and filled up the pantry, like literally with his truck, like a truckload full of food, and it'll be gone in like a week. And it's that, I guess, is one of like the bigger pantries. But it just really makes me like think about how books can be such escapism when we are all like going through hard things, and if you don't even have like basic human needs like food, place to live, safety, and things like that, books can definitely be a huge escape. And so it's like, well, of course now I understand why a lot of those books are gone, because if that is one of the most like popular, not popular, but like one of the biggest food pantries, and like of course people are going to be freaking there and getting books at the same time. So I definitely want to continue to fill that free library along with the other one that I filled. I think I got a message from one of you guys and you were saying like, well, be careful because sometimes people like go to free libraries and they'll resell books, and that's not my problem. Like I think that one time, like I feel like I'm going off on all these like different like thoughts, but one time I was at Bible study and I was talking about how there was a homeless guy downtown who asked if I could give him money, and I like almost always give money if like someone's asking and I have it, like physically have it on me. Very rarely carry cash, but sometimes if there's an ATM, I'll go to the ATM. So anyway, I went to the ATM, got like $20, gave him $20, and I don't even know how that came up. I think they were talking about how they don't give money to homeless people, and I was like, oh, I literally just like did that, and like the guy was super nice. She's like, yeah, but you just don't know like what he's using it for. He could be using it for anything. Not my problem. And she's like, he's like, you know, could be homeless and like, or could he not be homeless? He could be like lying and like maybe he's not actually homeless. And I was just like, we could go through all of these workarounds and all these thoughts in our minds to like justify not helping people, or we could just help people and then just like put the onus on them as to like either one, what they do with the money or what they do with the resources or what they do with like what we give them. Because once we give, like it's up to them and God to like deal with that. Like if they're manipulating people or like reselling stuff, like that's not my problem. So I will always give. I will always hope for the betterment of mankind, and I will always try to think the best of mankind and hope that people who are getting stuff from free libraries are not reselling it and that they're actually reading it or giving it to a friend. I will also hope that, you know, if people are getting stuff from food pantries or getting money from people and saying that they're homeless and they need it for food or whatever, that's what they're using it for. But it's not up to me to decide or judge who should and shouldn't get those things. Like, especially since God has blessed me with so much. I feel like I was thinking the other day, I was like, I don't know how people, well, I guess they just like don't give it out, but I was thinking, I don't know how people who get rich, like don't want to just give their money away every single day. And maybe because I've come from a place of not having, like in college, like literally I could not keep my water on. I like really struggled to pay rent. It was a really hard time. I remember my niece literally came over one time and we had to like go and get water from like somewhere else so that we could dump the bucket of water in the toilet so it would like flush, because I didn't have like my water on. And I just think about times like that where I like didn't have any like assistance or anything with like food and stuff, and I was hungry. I remember I got a Walmart credit card, and I had no business having a credit card because I had no money, and I literally got a Walmart credit card and spent $400 on food because I was like, this is gonna last me for a long time, knowing that like it was gonna be a struggle to pay that back. And just so many other things. And there are people who have kids who are like going through the same thing. And I was also thinking about people who, if they're taking books from the free libraries and like not reading them and like hoarding them, because like some people are like, oh, like what if they take the books and they're just hoarding them? Y'all, we be hoarding books. Like we take books and we put them on our shelves and we have the biggest TBR ever and it just sits there. Like, why is it that we don't allow people who have like not as many resources to also live similar lives to us? Is it just because we're giving it to them, you know? Like, I don't know. It's like a weird thing. Like when people are like, oh, like, you know, we shouldn't give like money to the homeless because they could use it for drugs or like they could use it on alcohol. You just spent money on drugs and alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I just really try to just give, and I hope for the best that however I give, it's going to be used for God's glory, and like people are going to like get what they need. And if they don't, that's not on me. Like my hands are, you know, open and giving, and that's all I can do. I can't like judge who should and shouldn't get, you know, whatever. Like, oh, I should only give money to this person because he's nice, or I should give money to this person because she like looks homeless, or, you know, it's like, it's not up to me. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it encourages you to give And I feel like it's very easy for us to think to give around like the holidays and stuff, but like now that the holidays are over, like maybe go through your shelves and see like what books that you've kind of had sitting there that you really maybe haven't read in years and could gift to someone else who maybe doesn't have any books at all. Or just like food, you know, I don't know. I just think that those things are like so important. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Bye guys.